All right, we've reached the top of the hour. We're streaming live on YouTube and we've shared it on Facebook. So welcome, Shabbat Shalom, to Emmanuel Congregation's morning services. I will mute myself and turn it over to Rabbi Marantz and Cantor Shelley.
Boker Tov, good morning, Emmanuel Congregation, YouTube, Facebook, however you're accessing this moment, we are pleased to welcome you. Cantor Friedman, good morning.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Nice to see you. And Aviva, nice to see you and your dear family. Thank you to the Midgley Gladstein family for being here and for participating in our Torah service. Aviva, I know that your work for a just harvest is very noble and very menschlich, and you're doing tzedakah. That's a wonderful start to your bat mitzvah season. However long that's going to unfold, we're not sure, but we're pleased to see you and pleased to see everybody. Let's create a mood with a nigun. It's a nigun that we love very much, to Lo Yisagoy. Lie, lie, lie. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la la hey oh hey oh yai di die yai di 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 die di die die yai di 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 die 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 yai di 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 die di di die die yai di 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 die di di die hey oh hey oh want to continue this opening with a special reading. This one comes from a series of liturgy provided by the Central Conference of American Rabbis. And this particular poem is by a soul named Tricia Arlen, and it has to do with washing our hands. It seems to be a powerful ritual, not just to make sure that we are clean and hygienic, but that we have a way of starting off our day that will lend to wholeness, not just health, but wholeness and happiness. As we wash our hands, we pray, blessed is the soul of the universe, breathing us in and breathing us out. May our breaths continue and our health and the health of all be preserved in this time of sickness and fear of sickness. Holy wholeness. We take as much responsibility for it as we can by observing the obligation to wash our hands using lots of soap and hot water. 20 seconds, I added that part. Thoroughly for as long as it takes to say this prayer. Amen. So Cantor, what's next? Modeh Ani?
That sounds like a wonderful thing to be next.
All right. Modeh ani lefanecha melech v'kayam shehechezarta mi nishmati b'chemla וכן לה רבה אמונתך, רבה אמונתך.
What a perfect way to say thank you this morning for opening our eyes and being together, even if that's a virtual togetherness. The matovu, the delighting in our habitations, our abodes, the places right now that are sheltering us and each other. Matovu, oh Yaakov, oh Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael. Matovu, oh Yaakov, oh Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael. ואני ברוך הסתך עבודך אשתחווה אל היכל קודשך ביראתך. מה טובו אוהלי יעקב, אוהלי יעקב, משכנותיה ישראל. מה טובו אוהלי יעקב, אוהלי יעקב, משכנותיה ישראל. Adonai, אהבתם מאוד ביתך ומקום משכן כבודך, ואני אשתחווה ואכרע לפני אדוני עושי. מה טובו אוהלי יעקב, אוהלי יעקב, משכנותיה ישראל. מה טובו אוהלי יעקב, אוהלי יעקב, משכנותיה ישראל. אני תפילתי לך, אדוני, עת רצון. אלוהים, ברוב חסדך, ענני באמת אישך. מה טובו אוהלי יעקב, אוהלי יעקב, משכנותיה ישראל. מה טובו אוהלי יעקב, אוהלי יעקב, משכנותיה ישראל.
Thank you, Cantor. May the tents that we will be dwelling in for the foreseeable future be just as beautiful as those Balaam discovered amongst our ancestors, and may they be a place for creativity and patience and enduring spirit. So we add another prayer. And by the way, friends, so we'll make sure that we avail you these prayers for your own edification down the road. We'll send them by email. This one is called a prayer for medical scientists, and it's a modern day riff, if you will, on the blessing over body that we say. The poem is by Alden Solovey. It's really a blessing. God of wisdom, bless medical scientists and researchers around the world with insight and skill, dedication and fortitude as they combat coronavirus, so that their work yields knowledge and understanding, speedily finding a vaccine, treatments, and deterrence to its spread. Source of life, grant public health and government officials the strength to act swiftly and decisively with compassion and understanding in service to humankind, fighting this outbreak and the other diseases that still plague the planet. Diseases threatening the lives of our brothers and our sisters, nations and communities, young and old. Rock of Ages, bring an end to disease and suffering so that all may know your compassion and your grace. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh chol basar umafli la'asot. Praised are you, God, healer of flesh, maker of wonders.
Amen. Nisim b'chol yom are those miracles of every day. They serve as an alarm clock, a way of noticing, even in these times of challenge, that there are so many blessings within us and around us, if we were to just open our eyes to them. Within the framework of Nusach, Aviva will lead us. Bum, bum, bum.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sech v'binah, lehavchin ben yom uben laila.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, pokei ach ivrim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, zokef kefufim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, rokah haaretz al hamayim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamichin v'tzadei gafer.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, mabish arumim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten laya'iv koach.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hama'avir she'enet me'enai, utnuma me'afapai.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzelem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani bat chorin.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, otir Yisrael begvura.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, otir Yisrael betifara.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tivanu l'sok b'divrei Torah.
Amen. Kol hakavod Aviva. And for all of those blessings and more, hallelujah is a way of saying thank you. Hallelujah, Kodsho, hallelujah, Bekia Uza, hallelujah, Biburotav. Hallelujah, Karov, good Lord, hallelujah, but take a shofar, hallelujah, B'neva v'chinor. Hallelujah, 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 בעוף ומחול, הללו במינים ועוגב, הללו בצלצלי שמע. הללו בצלצלי תרועה, כל הנשמה דהללויה, הללו, הללויה. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
Kola Kavod, Cancer. Thank you. And Emma Friedman also. Beautiful accompaniment. I believe that could be a standard. What a beautiful, exquisite, inspiring version of Psalm 150. Toda rabah. Thank you very much. All right, friends, we're ready to rise in body and or spirit for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai, Amen. And we continue with the Yotzer Or. Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer Or uvoreh choshech, Chosei shalom uvoreh et hakol. Hameir la'aretz v'la'arim alecha barachamim. Uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai. Kulam b'chochma asita. Mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu. Al shevach ma'aseh yadecha. Ve'al me'orei or she'asita yifarucha sela. Or chadash al Tzion ta'ir. V'nizkeh chulanu mehera le'oro. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ham arot. And we add one blessing to that. Bear with me one moment. We can find it. It's part of the fun challenge here. Here we go. Bear with me. A Prayer for God's Love by Rabbi Rami Shapiro from Mishkan Refuah, where healing resides. We are loved by an unending love. We are embraced by arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved by an unending love. We are supported by hands that uplift us, even in the midst of a fall. We are urged on by eyes that meet us even when we are too weak for meeting. We are loved by an unending love, embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved by an unending love.
And now the Shema is led by Aviva. We're so incredibly proud of you, Aviva.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed, Ve'ahavta את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושופך ובקומך וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם מכל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאליהם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Beautiful.
Yishar kochach kol hakavod, Aviva. You are well prepared and you are ready for action as is evidenced. So now we move to the Michamocha, which is our freedom song. And it's one thing I want to say before we begin, and that is that one of the beautiful things about freedom is that it conveys a sense of choice. We have choices in our lives, and as long as we have choices in our lives, we are free. Now, of course, because we have to stay at home for most reasons, only essential reasons to leave our house now, it may seem that some of our choices are vastly limited. That may, in fact, really feel true. But I invite myself to remember that no matter what limitations may be placed upon us, we're never without certain choices to make our lives matter. And that's the invitation and the challenge and the opportunity ahead. Chamocha, Bailim Adonai, Chamocha, Nedava Kodesh, Noora Tehilo, Hosefele, Noora Tehilos, Hosefele. Won't you help me sing these songs of freedom? It's all we songs, the songs of freedom, redemption song.
We rise now for the tefillah as our Aviva leads us in prayer.
Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agita hilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Hanura, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Hatzkei Afot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula L'Vnei V'neihem, L'Ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Chozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Negei Avraham, V'Yetrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Kol atah, Rav L'Oshia, Marid Hatah, Mechakeh Chaim Mechazet, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Tomech Noflim V'Rofech Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umakeim Emunato, Lishanei Afar, Michamocha Bal Geburot, Umito Melach, Melach Mimit Umchaye, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'le'eman Atan L'chayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Chaye HaKol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא הארץ כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני, ממקומו, ממקומו, ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור אגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please take a moment for your own thoughts, your own prayers, your own meditations. If you need a beautiful focal point, have a look at this screen. Beautiful, beautiful image.
Oseh Shalom Imromam Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'akol Yisrael Vehimeru Amen. Aseh Shalom, Aseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Hu Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oh, say Shalom Bimromah. Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru Amen. Aviva. It is a great joy that you're going to be doing Torah for us on the day that would have been your bat mitzvah. Although this is not exactly how we imagined it when we started working 6 months ago, I have to say today you are putting mitzvah in bat mitzvah by bringing Torah to your community in a larger context. Your voice today singing out in a way that the rabbi and I are not equipped to do. We did not study this Torah portion's chant as extensively as you did, and we could not be prouder of you. We continue with the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. And we call upon your parents and your brother if they would kindly do the blessing before the reading of Torah. Baruch Adonai HaMarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Uvei alot he'anan meo hamishkan isu b'nei Yisrael b'chol masehem ve'im lo ya'aleh he'anan ve'lo isu ad yom he'aloto ki anan Adonai al hamishkan yomam ve'esh tehiyeh laila bo le'enecho beit Yisrael b'chol masehem.
Kol hakavod Aviva. We could not be prouder of you as an Emmanuel family and as a Jewish community.
Kol hakavod. That was beautiful.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natan b'tzivkeinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Just move that over. She wants to-
Once again, Boker Tov, one and all. Good morning to you. I hope this wonderful experience meets you well or well-ish and resilient. Shabbat Shalom to one and all. It is an honor to be with you on this Shabbat morning and to bring some Torah to bear in this moment. Hard work and rest, the very focus of our key text today, from Parshat Vayachel Pekudei and the conclusion of Sefer Shemot, the book of Exodus. Moses assembled all of the Israelites and said, "These are God's words that I speak. Therefore, you are obliged to do what I say. Go ahead and work hard for 6 days, but rest on the seventh day. Separate that day and consecrate it to Adonai. If you work on that day, you will die. You shall not kindle a fire in any of your dwellings on the Sabbath day." I don't know about you, but my spiritual alarm bells always go off when I hear that refusal to do a mitzvah will lead to death. Yikes, right? But I don't take it literally. What I do understand intuitively about this statedly grim outcome is that refusal to rest can leave us depleted, can leave us slow. And the lack of spiritual nourishment that can come from stepping outside the business of life, no matter how uplifting or inspiring or fulfilling that work may be, can deaden us or can rob us of our life force. So the prohibition of work on Shabbat and the mitzvah of rest must be serious considerations, if not obligations, in some shape, way, or form, for you and me to contemplate and to choose. We do have options. Now, I also find it interesting that our key text ends specifically with a prohibition against kindling fire. This injunction probably comes as little surprise. You may have heard kindling fire is one of the 39 forbidden forms of work. We call it mav'ir in Hebrew. That's why we cover our eyes after lighting the Shabbat candles and as we bless. Shabbat begins when we recite the blessing over the candles. And so lighting the candle, since it's already dark or sundown, would technically become forbidden. We close our eyes so that once we bless, we can open them and enjoy the Sabbath light. The fulfillment of the mitzvah occurs after the blessings as we gather in the beautiful light. A very normative teaching indeed, but consider for a moment the interesting wisdom found in the 18th century Tiferet Yonatan. Here, the Kabbalist Rav Eibschutz turns to the fourth commandment, which we read earlier in the book of Exodus. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath to your God. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter or your male servant or your female servant, or your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gates. For 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and sea, and all that is in them, and ceased on the seventh day. Therefore, God blessed the seventh day and hallowed it. Another technicality. The work prohibited here doesn't speak directly to making fire. This is because, as Rav Eibschutz points out in the Talmud, the work of making fire was actually created at the end of Shabbat, not before. As the story goes, at the conclusion of the first Shabbat, God inspired the first human being, named Adam, to take 2 stones and to rub them together to create a spark and subsequently make fire. Rav Eibschutz concludes that one might think that fire is not among the forbidden forms of work and is therefore permissible on Shabbat. But then, of course, he hastens to indicate that there are other texts in our Torah that indicate against kindling fire. Okay, then, no surprise there. But I'm not completely satisfied. I think there's more to the Adam story. What if the notion of making fire at the end of Shabbat was a guiding principle? Certainly plays out when we do Havdalah and we kindle the braided candle. This is technically after Shabbat ends, but it seems like it's during the ending. And what if, less kindling actual candles at Shabbat's beginning, we looked at the making of fire more metaphorically, as a way of capturing Shabbat's essence as an experience full of light and capturing that light? What if our proverbial spiritual stones, with God's already precedented permission, let us kindle more than lights on Shabbat, just like Adam? What light might we usher in? The light of discernment, the light of passion, the light of compassion, the light in the darkness, the light of hope, the light of faith, the light of possibility, the light of healing, the light of resilience? How about the light of creativity, or the light of nature, or the light of the soul? And maybe the light of Torah and the light of God. And the light of God we see in each other's eyes. The light of community bound in mutual responsibility, taking care of one another. From this perspective, Shabbat could and would be a veritable festival of lights. According to Torah, hard work in whatever form it comes, inside the house or outside of it, whether in employment or retirement, whether in person or virtual, is what drives our first 6 days of the week toward productivity and fulfillment. The seventh day, Shabbat, summons us to rest from all the hard work we just did. I do not believe that we will die if we kindle fire on Shabbat. But if we don't kindle the spiritual fire in our hearts and in our bellies, then chevre, we might burn out, as it were. Well, I think Torah is not just about rules. I do think the rules here put us in position to consider meaning and purpose. And with such meaning and purpose, we can kindle intentionality or kavanah, which sets us up for action as a force for good in our world. Resting and refraining definitely have enduring value. So then, let us rest. And then let us struggle onward through our new normal. And from this moment, even though it is Shabbat, let us cast our light from the very gaps that mark our uncertainty. And may we all find the will to carry on to a place of wholeness. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Amen. Our Misha Barak prayer. Rabbi, if you would lead us.
So, Cantor, Chevre, one of the things we talked about last night, the very beginning of our Torah portion, at least according to one translation, Moses, with God's inspiration, makes a community, builds a congregation, but he makes a community. And so you start to wonder, what is necessary to make a community? Well, for sure, it has to do with the lights of compassion and love and chesed, grace and kindness, and the light of prayer. We take all those lights and we mingle them together into this healing experience we call Mishaberach. We put words together, kind of capture the essence of that light and allow us to communicate that light to the world. And in communicating that light to the world through song and through beautiful words, we hope to do our part to lend healing to all those in need. So it's in that spirit that I read the following. And of course, you can add names online as you wish. Noreen Alper, Judy Altman, Tanya Barliant, Dan Bracker, David Burchett, Fega Sorabat Chaya, Linda Danielson, Francine Fields, Lana Fields, Don Grandolfo, Mimi Harris, Werner Hyman, Jane Herron, Priscilla Hill, Larry Jones, Harold Katz, Molly Klee, Anne-Marie Kulesa, Robert Langfelder, Holly Lipschultz, Roy Lloyd, Stephen Martinez, Gerald Marks, Richard MacArthur, Stephen Melnick, Deet Meserve, Deborah Miller, Jimmy Miller, Scott Montgomery, Joe Mosciano, Jordan Ehrenberg, Nicole Newcomb, Don Olson, Mark Perlman, Alan Sager, Leah Bat Sarah, Sarah Chana Bat Elisheva, Solange Scaletti, Kristen Rouse Skinner, Maria Sklyanskaya, Linda Stahl, Tolly Stein, Kirk Stokes, Virginia Wharton, Nachum Feivel Ben Gedalia Umasha.
Additional names from the YouTube chat include Allison Good and Jacoba Bat Sarah.
Refuah Shlema to one and all.
Avotenu mekor habraha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lamotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Aviva, your Haftorah is a special one because it helps us mark time. So if you would please rise, I think people will understand once they hear the content of it, why it might be chosen this close to a very special holiday and what it might notate for us. First, I will invite you to do the blessing before the reading of Haftorah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzav v'divrehem hane'emarim ba'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'Moshe avdo v'Yisrael amo v'givei ha'emet b'tzedek.
Amen.
Rishon ba'arba'a asar yom lechodesh yehiye lachem ha'pasach chag Shavuot yamim matzot yeachel ba'asar hanasi bayom hahu ba'ado Uvad cho'am ha'aretz har hatat v'shivat yamei chag ya'aseh olah l'Adonai shivat herim v'shivat elim temimim layom shivat hayamim v'chatat Si'er itzim layom.
Shabbat HaChodesh, or the Sabbath of the month being Nisan, and the holiday on the 14th of the month is Pesach. Beautiful chanting, my love. The blessing after, please.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol haolamim tzadik bechol hadarot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdibir u'mekayem shekol divarav emet v'tzedek all ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al hanvi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha v'limnucha, lachavot u'tiferet. All hakol Adonai Eloheinu, v'nachnu motim lach, u'varchim otach, yitbarach shimha b'fi kol hai, t'mi le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen. Etz chayim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomecha meushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivotaha shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Charish Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem. Aviva, I'll ask you to stay standing as you help us conclude with the Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shapeach l'adon hakol, l'tet gidula l'yatzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot ha'adama, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Rabbi, if I might do a couple of announcements now before Kaddish Tome.
Perfect.
Of course, these are trying times. People feel anxious and they feel worried and they might feel lonely. The rabbi and I are here to listen. Although we're not trained therapists, we are really good listeners. And so if you would like to talk to us, we would love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to either send us a message. You could even, if you feel like you'd like to do that on YouTube, although it's public, you may, but certainly at the website, you'll find our email addresses and our phone numbers, our office phones. Don't hesitate to use them. If you're feeling especially depressed or discouraged, the city of Chicago tells us that 311 has facilitated conversations with counselors, more counselors than are normally on that particular line. But in those events of you feeling that you need a more professional ear, certainly that is one option of many. Rabbi?
You can also turn to Jewish Children and Family Services. We will veil all these phone numbers and points of contact in the near future. Also want to reiterate for those who were with us last night and maybe introduce for those who weren't, a new initiative that will organize our work going forward, something called Walking Together, Making Community. It is vital for us to find all sorts of interesting ways, like we just experienced this morning, of convening as a community, of trying to draw collective inspiration, even within the limits that are placed on our lives. Remember, we have lots of choices within those limits, and we want to expand your choices. I know everybody's getting used to this new normal, and there's a pace, and there's uncertainties, and there's a lot of challenges. We want to be there with you. We want to support you through it all as you need. Just always know we're there. I can imagine us doing all sorts of interesting programs, not only to get a temperature of how you're doing, but to have fun and to be creative. Maybe have a Havdalah online, or maybe have a class like we did today with our Talmud class. It went really well and we did fine online. And tomorrow we're doing Shalom Hartman and creating a new covenant with Israel. It's really beautiful, beautiful opportunity for us to convene. So there'll be other things for all ages. Keep an eye on your email. Thank God email still works. So I think we're ready for Kaddish Tome. Let me, if you will, draw on one more kind of light that I think is perfectly acceptable to kindle even on Shabbat. And that is the light of memory. When we say Kaddish, we summon and we affirm life, and we think of the lights that once lived in our lives that have a way of shining still long after they're gone, just like a star that has died. And in that light, we see the lessons, and in that light, we see the values, and in that light, we see the legacies that are given to us, that we now collect and are warmed by. Even if we are saddened, we are warmed by this light, and we are empowered by this light, and we are hopeful, we remain hopeful and faithful that we can be a force for good and to keep that light burning, keep the light of memory burning in our lives. So, Chevre, in that spirit, we remember the following lights. Rose Abrahamson, Solomon Axelrod, Harry Burgart, Julius Bridges, Genevieve Buxbaum, Marvin Cohen, Tilly C. Cohn, Clarence Cole, Richard Dombeck, Julius Dresner, Charles Eby, Joseph Fisher, Martin M. Fishman, Louis Froelich, Julius Ginsburg, Rose Goldberg, Jean Robicher Goldstucker, Wayne Mark Harris, Martin Hill, Joseph Hollander, Rachel Hyman, Betty Ethel Kaplan, Louis Lang, Julia Lazar, Lila Wenig Lechinger, Irving Levin, Ray Levine, Catherine Levy, Bernard Loeb, Stephen Michael Lowe, Stanley Moss, Libby Marwick, Hyman Mendelson, Marcia Pomerantz, Henry Saltiel, James Salzman, Gertrude Fagan Schwartz, Rika Seelig, Joseph Silverman, Jacob Skier, William Steinhardt, Ilsa Stern, Henry Thau. Any additions, corrections, repronunciations?
I don't see any additional names in the YouTube chat.
In that case, we invite you to rise in body and or spirit, or as is your custom, and please join Cantor as we recite the Kaddish. Zichronam Livracha.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayachon uvyomachon. Uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imeru. Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach. Le'olam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudisha brihu la'ela min kobirata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imeru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru amen.
May the one who makes peace in the heavens bring peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say, Amen. Well, I think we're ready for our closing. I'm not sure what it is, Cantor. Needs a guitar, I think, yes?
It is.
Okay.
It is guitar and it is you.
Here we go. I'm new. Pleased to meet you.
I look forward when I can sing in tandem with you, Rabbi.
That'll be great. That'll be great technological triumph for us. Incidentally, just a small thought before we finish with this and priestly blessing to send you on your way. We're going to work on our sound quality. Realize that all the interfacing of our various platforms kind of garbles the instrumentation. And so we want to improve that. So we're working on that. But anyway, Psalm 150, hallelujah. Here we go, everybody. Hallelujah. 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 Oh, Shema. Kolan Shama, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Kolan Shama, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Ready to do it again? Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Cantor, you'll join me then, please. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May Adonai bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's enduring light shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha. Shalom.
May God lift God's face to you, towards you, in you, that God might shine through you and give you the gift of peace.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Stay
shalom.
well. Struggle on.
Many thanks to the Midgley Gladstein family and Leah Jones for helping us facilitate all this technical work. The rabbi and I would have been lost without that, for sure.
Well done, Leah. Thank you, Aviva. Your wonderful bat mitzvah.
And
Deb,
Shabbat shalom.
Brian, Jaden, thank you, everybody. Again, Leah, Cantor, you're amazing. Well done, all. Have a restful day.
Shabbat shalom.
Shine the light.
Shabbat Shalom.
Bye-bye.
I'll invite our participants to leave the Zoom meeting and then I'll shut down the live stream.